One.
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome.
Sunday, January 10th. This is Two Guys, Two Drinks. We're a little podcast where we talk about sports, some other stuff thrown in. We always got a drink in our hand, and we're always ready to argue. So I want to say cheers to the episode, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome.
That's Mark. That's Paul, the update guy.
I'm actually going to go by Marino on this, if you don't mind, Steve.
You want to go by Marino? Okay.
So, Steve, let's talk about how this podcast started. How did this come to fruition, as they say?
Well, we got tired of arguing at our job. You know, we felt that it wasn't the right setup, so we decided to take it live, see if we could build a following, get some sponsors, Yeti, and go from there.
Yeah, I'm excited. We don't get the time to argue like we should. Texting isn't fun. We got to do this for real. And you and I are for those of you who don't know, I am a diehard Yankee Giant fan, Rangers and Knicks too. Steve, you could tell them who you're a fan of. And we're going to get to the Mets today.
Lindor.
We're definitely getting to the Mets today about that, all that stuff. But
so excited.
This show is going to be – our podcast is going to have we're going to definitely have update guy Paul join us shortly and give us a nice sports week update. But we got some other stuff going. Like, we're going to definitely debate each episode. That's our goal. We're going to debate a topic, debate a fun topic that Steve and I have always argued about over the years in our time knowing each other. So we're excited. We're ready to give you a good show. What do you got to drink today, Steve?
I got actually a lot of drinks. I got my go-to. I got my scotch, my Maker's Mark. Then I got my tea, in case I get a little too heated with you guys.
What do you got, update guy?
I have my Miller Lite today. After watching football all day, I figured I'd continue drinking beer, and I'm enjoying it.
Does anyone ask me what I got?
What do you got?
Casamigos.
Of course. Oh, Casamigos.
You love your tequila. I thought at first that I was like just a passing phase, but you legit love your
Mark,
tequila.
Can I tell you, Mark, honestly, for years had stopped drinking.
Yeah.
And then I would say in the last 2 years, I've never seen him drink more in his entire life.
Why do you think in the last 2 years?
I don't know. I don't want to say.
I don't want to say it in this public space.
Yeah.
Is your wife in your shot now?
No, she's not.
Kids, bro. It's the kid.
Yeah, I drank 2 tequilas. I'm like, you're drinking? And of all things, he drinks tequila.
Yeah, he loves his tequila. He does. He does. I have to say for that. I have to vouch for him.
I mostly drink whiskey or beer. I never drink anything else beyond that, really. But
yeah, same.
Tequila,
wine, and vodka, stuff like that.
Tequila is the best. But anyway,
can I tell you something really quick?
Here we go. Jump in.
No. This is actually was really freaking cool. I was very excited by it. I watched an NFL game today on a channel that I've never watched it before.
I know what you're going to say. Nickelodeon?
Nickelodeon. It was awesome. Did you guys see it?
I saw a couple clips.
It was awesome. I watched the whole second half mostly on Nickelodeon. It was awesome.
I think the point was to appeal to a child's mind.
They did. My kid was loving it. He was loving it. When they scored a touchdown, the whole screen would get slimed.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I saw that.
And it was nice colors. And during halftime, instead of playing shitty commercials, they played SpongeBob SquarePants. It was awesome. It was awesome.
Do you think this will be something sports does?
You think of what?
You think sports will do this going forward, all the other sports?
I don't see how you couldn't. I mean, the NFL, it just, they're so good at marketing.
Last week they had a game on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I saw that.
But it was only on Prime, and that annoyed me.
Wait, it was only on Prime?
Yeah. You can't flip around during the commercials, put something else on for a few minutes.
No, that's the worst. And plus, you need to have a smart TV too, which is bullshit.
Yeah. When it's not your team, I watched the whole game, but I'll flip on and off or flip to another, and you couldn't. You were just stuck on Prime. I was like, this is.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
What was baseball on this past summer? Facebook or Twitter?
Yeah, that's been the past couple of years.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's an embarrassment. That's a joke.
Yeah, but Prime's any better?
No, it's not. But Facebook is even worse.
Yeah, but don't you think that might be? I don't like it, but I'm just saying, don't you think that might be the way we watch games?
I'd rather the Yankees be on Facebook than Channel 11.
Oh, here he goes.
No way, dude. I mean, what is hockey gonna do? MySpace? Get out of here, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's a joke, man. Keep it on the network.
No one's watching hockey anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, I know. I'll be watching hockey next week. Don't worry.
Bring
Rangers are
back
going
day
to the Cup.
games. Bring back day games. Bring back Channel 11 and Channel 9. I love that stuff, man.
And wait, you can even go 660, right?
Bro, I love 660. Sometimes I'd rather listen to the game on the radio than actually watch it.
Well, that I do that sometimes.
660 or 101.9? I'm 101.9 guy.
Yeah, 101.9. But I do listen to the game on the radio. I do enjoy hearing John Sterling and Susan Waldman doing the Yankee game on the radio.
Yeah, I love it.
And you're not even a Yankee fan.
Yeah.
I never heard of this 101.9 stuff that you guys talk about, though. What is that?
That's what the fan is on now. In the 21st century, you moved to 101.9.
And it's got better sound quality.
No, 660. I never heard of this one.
HD. No, 660, you get that AM static. You don't want that AM static. You want that FM quality.
You youngins with your FM and your CDs, whatever you guys listen to. I don't even know what tapes.
I had cassettes growing up.
Yeah, so did I. Shoot. My dad's friends had cars with 8 tracks in it still. When I was younger, they would have older cars. They had 8 tracks.
Paul, I'm going to quote something right here.
Yeah,
Steve, you just aged yourself right there with that comment.
Aged yourself. Wait, no. This guy died. Nobody told him.
This guy died. I just like my dad said he watched the Knicks game in 1969, the championship on a radio. Listen to it on the radio, not watched, obviously.
Yeah, and we were like, you dished age. I didn't know it wasn't even. He goes, yeah, sometimes it would be on TV.
We're like, man, you aged yourself with that
That's
comment.
the good old days, man. The good old days. My dad would run home from school to watch World Series games. Can you imagine that?
I know. Playoff games you could still do.
That happened this year with the playoffs. Remember they did a couple of games?
No, they always do that, but not the World Series.
This year was even earlier because it was expanded playoffs. They were remember they were jamming the games in.
Yeah, so. Yeah. Paul, you want to get to your first ever sports update?
Oh, yes. So we'll start off with our sports of the week, and you guys can chime in if you want. So we'll start off with
sports of the week.
Sports of the week.
We just have like a drop.
Yeah, we need a drop. Yeah, we can work on that for next time. So sports of the week. So we'll start off with the NFL. Wild card weekend kicked off yesterday. I actually liked that it was kind of expanded playoffs. Like I liked that there was 3 games yesterday and 3 games today. I think one still hasn't started yet, and one is being played. Although I think it was over.
So it's a wrap. The final score of that was 21-9. Saints.
For the Saints, okay. Well, I think we kind of.
What a joke.
That. So we'll start with yesterday. We had the Bills beat the Colts 27-24, and Bills Mafia proceeded to probably burn the city down after their first playoff victory 25 years.
I know, it's horrible.
First playoff victory in 25 years. That's what everyone says. I'm 30, so I think I always hear about the 90s, how good they were. So there you go. So that makes sense.
Bills were
I never even knew that side story where the coach, where Reich was the quarterback for that huge comeback. I had no idea that was him. I never even put
Frank Reich, for against the Oilers, 92.
Yeah, but they came back. They scored like 35 unanswered points, something ridiculous like that.
Yeah, it was a good one. It's a good comeback.
But wait, who did the Giants beat when they missed? Who was it? The Bills that missed the field goal?
Yeah, the Bills. Scott Norwood.
Yeah, Scott Norwood. Yeah.
I mean, dude, that was when. Can you imagine getting to the Super Bowl like 4 or 5 times in a row and losing every single time?
Yeah, it's terrible.
And embarrassed in 3 of them.
That's insane. But think about how good the Bills were, where they can make this that never happens anymore. The Patriots. That's the only team that does that anymore. You know?
Well, think about if the Bills had won all those Super Bowls. I mean, they would have been a dynasty essentially.
Insane.
So, anyways, the Bills won. Josh Allen looked great. He actually got his own rushing touchdown.
I love Josh Allen, man. Josh Allen.
I like Josh Allen too.
He's guy. He's
I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
He's a stud too. 6'5", beast.
So the Rams took down Seattle 30-20. Seattle looked pretty bad.
Russell Wilson,
their defense got throttled like early on in the game. Yeah, I honestly didn't even watch much of the game because they were getting hammered most of the game. I think that 30-20 score makes it seem like it was close.
Yeah, it wasn't that close.
Robert Woods scored towards the end of the game. Nobody was covering him. That was one of the only plays I saw. The guy was wide open and just ran it in.
Did you guys hear what Russell Wilson did? It was actually pretty stand up. There was it was the last play of the game. Not this one, the game before, the final season game, and last play of the game, and the coach called just to kneel on the ball, but there was I think it was like a tight end or something that had one more receiving catch he needed to get like a huge bonus, and he was like on league minimum, whatever, and Russell Wilson called an audible, and he threw it to this guy. got caught it and he got like $100,000 just for like that one last catch.
Well, that's Brady did that for Antonio Brown yesterday too.
Did he?
He got some huge bonus. Yeah. So
Russell Wilson looked horrendous though. He didn't look good at all. He looked out of sync the
No.
whole game.
Who Brady did? You said?
No, Russell Wilson.
Oh yeah, he looked horrible.
Oh, Paul, just going back to the Bill. Can I just say something about the Bills that I like too? Even though they almost lost the game because of that fumble, I like that they came out and they were up, but they needed to get some first downs to end the game. And they came out aggressive, passing the ball. You know, sometimes the team comes out there, they do 3 stupid runs, and the other team's got the ball back with 4 minutes left and wins or comes back. I really liked what Buffalo did. They came out very aggressive, even though it almost cost them. It didn't cost them. I liked it.
I think Buffalo's one of the best teams in the league. I really think
they got a shot. Yeah.
You know what I like about Josh Allen?
Worried about the Colts, but
yeah, I like about Josh Allen is that when he runs, he doesn't slide. Like he runs to get yards. Like he doesn't run to like a few yards and slides. Like he goes into people, and he like I said, he's a big dude, so he can get some yards.
Yeah, he can kind of knock people over too. And then the last game last night, their game was Washington and the Bucks. Alex Smith was unable to start. Apparently, I read today that he's not even sure about his future in the league.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I think he's going to be done.
And this annoys me that Washington had their pretty much, I guess, essentially their third string after kicking Haskins off the team. Taylor Heineke. He was actually pretty good. He was pretty good. But they could not take down the GOAT, Tom Brady.
Giants would have won that game, though. I was
just going to say, it annoyed me even when I heard that Alex Smith – I'm not saying the Giants would have won.
No, they would have won.
But when I heard –
guarantee they would have won.
When I heard that Alex Smith wasn't starting, I was like, what a waste. Like, what a waste that they had
Yeah, I was so mad about that, actually. That took all the juice out of the game.
Yeah, and it was the Saturday night game. I couldn't wait to watch it. Like, I was actually really excited because I missed the second game. And I was like, all right, I'll watch this game. And I'm like, well, I'm watching a third-string quarterback. I mean, he was pretty good, but like this guy wasn't going to beat Tom Brady. I mean,
I was
very worried about it. They're like, oh, he looks. Who was doing the game last night? It was on NBC. It was
Colin. No, it was Tirico, and I can't think of his name. I'm blanking.
Coach.
Tony Dungy.
Tony Dungy.
Oh.
Yeah, and he kept saying how impressive he looked. I'm like, yeah, it's great.
No, I think the Giants would have easily won that game against the Patriots. I mean, against the Bucs. Sorry.
Do you really say that? I don't think they could have easily.
No, I'm not saying this is not hyperbole. I think they would have won. It would have been an upset in the making. They would have kicked their butts out of that stadium.
It's okay.
It definitely would have been an intriguing game.
Moving on from that.
What's his name? Who's the lineman? The defensive lineman that came from the Jets. I'm blanking on his name. Giants.
Yeah, you're talking about.
The Giants defensive lineman. That was from the Jets.
I know you're talking about. I just can't think of his name.
And blanking on his name too. Your guy, Steve. You guys had him on the Jets. We were arguing over him last week. I'm blanking on his name right now.
I don't remember.
Jets defensive
lineman. Too, and I can't.
He would have gone to work on Brady and destroyed him.
Terry G.
So
Leonard Williams.
He would have destroyed the Jets. I mean, the Bucs there would have destroyed them.
I think they would have had a shot. Except the problem with the Giants is they wouldn't have been. They can't score. So.
Well, who knows?
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to more games.
Moving on from that, Mark's prediction that probably wouldn't have happened. So, anyways, the Ravens beat the Titans, which I was kind of like the Titans. I was rooting for the Titans, but Lamar Jackson got his first playoff win of his career. Derrick Henry was held to only 40 yards.
Yeah, that was a good game. That was like a right down to the wire kind of game.
Yeah, it was a good game to watch. That was the game I was most excited to watch. New Orleans beat Chicago. You just said they kind of killed them, which I don't even know how Chicago ended up in the playoffs.
8-8, and they complained about the Giants being close.
I think the Giants beat Chicago. And then tonight, starting probably right now, we have Pittsburgh taking on Cleveland. Really interesting situation there because Cleveland, the coaches, I don't know if you guys saw, all drove separately to the game because they've had so many COVID cases and everything. Yeah. So, man. If Pittsburgh loses to Cleveland with the mess that they've had the last week,
I'll be shocked.
Yeah, and I'm pulling for Cleveland. First time in the playoffs. Imagine they beat Pittsburgh in the first round. Like that would be unbelievable. Like I'm honestly pulling for Cleveland just for the fun of it. But
I don't care. Like I know Beckham is not playing, whatever. But I want nothing good to happen to any team that he's on. I'm sorry.
Oh wow. Even though he doesn't really matter for this team, you don't care.
Yeah, but if they win the Super Bowl, like he'll still get a ring, and which is absolutely horseshit. Actually, no, I'll probably in some kind of way it would be like poetic justice where he doesn't play for half the season and he won the Super Bowl. That will be a very Beckham thing to happen. You know?
Yeah,
Like Shockey with the Giants.
like shocking.
Yeah.
And they win the Super Bowl without him.
Yes.
If Beckham's definitely a bigger dick than Shockey, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
By far.
So I'll keep it going. Move on to Major League Baseball.
Oh, God.
Free agency. And I wrote kind of like when I wrote this on my update, I imagined Mad Dog in my head going, and the Mets made a splash. And I imagined going, and the Mets make a splash.
What do they get? I missed it.
So the New York Mets agreed to a 6-player trade, and obviously got them Francisco Lindor. Also got them Carlos Carrasco in exchange for a couple of other people from the Mets, but really Lindor was the big part of that trade. They said that Cohen is also – he's loaded right now, Cohen. He actually made money last year even after investing in a team, I read.
Like $1 billion, over $1 billion.
Yeah, he made over $1 billion.
He has Boku bucks. He has Boku bucks.
Yeah, so he's eyeing up other targets. Good for the Mets. I can imagine this still ending up in a very Mets way somehow this year where, like, Lindor gets hurt, like, the second game or something absurd. Like, I could see that happening.
Never put it, you never know. You never know with the Mets, honestly.
And then, the Mets fans will make excuses like they always do. And, that'll be it.
Big moaning on the fan like they always do.
The Yankees have yet to sign DJ LeMahieu.
Embarrassing.
You hear that sound?
Yeah. That's the Yankees.
That sound, people, is 161 Riverside Avenue in the Bronx. Silent night. The holidays ended, but it's still silent night for the Knicks.
According, not to be a shill for the Yankees with my Yankee shirt on today, according to Mark's boyhood idol, Joel Sherman. Shout out to Joel for Mark.
I'm tired of all this. I'm tired of all this Yankee talk. Can I give you some stats on?
No, we're not done. No, hold on. The Yankees did sign in. The Yankees did check in with the Indians, and I guess they didn't have anything to offer. Per Sherman, the Yankees have remained committed to seeing the pursuit of LeMahieu through to the end. But here we are, no LeMahieu. And in a column for the Post, the Yankees, Sherman argued that the Yankees should target veteran free agent starter Corey Kluber, who Mark knows. For some reason I always like Corey Kluber. I don't know why.
Yeah, Corey Kluber's been hurt 65 times in the past 2 years.
I'm part of the one-man Kluber fan club, so that's who they argue the Yankees should target. I've heard Trevor Bauer, but now I haven't heard anything about Trevor Bauer in a while. Plus, I'm a little worried about Trevor Bauer because he is a little bit of a nutcase, so I don't know if you want him or not.
Sign somebody, all right? Sign somebody. That's all I got to say about this. All right, listen, Francisco Lindor, All-Star, 4-time All-Star, 2-time Gold Glove winner, 2-time Silver Slugger, okay? He's currently on a Hall of Fame trajectory right now. Oh, did I tell you he's a switch hitter? I don't know if I told you that. He's a switch hitter.
Yeah,
we know this stuff.
We watched him. We beat him twice.
Lindor was a great pickup. I think the Mets fleeced the Indians, to be honest.
I looked up his wife, Nil Marie Huertas. She's a dime piece. Check her out. Okay. Did you see his Instagram post the other day?
I don't have Instagram.
What did he say? I'm so happy to be on that.
He did a slideshow with all like Keith Hernandez was in the background and Piazza was in the background.
Mets fans are so easy to sucker in.
I know, they really are.
They really are. They're worse than Yankee fans.
What's his record against the Yankees in the playoffs? Oh, it's 2-5. No, 2-5. He lost. There's 3 games lost in 17, and then lost 2 last year.
I would like to know what his stats were for those games, though. I bet it wasn't his fault.
That wasn't the argument for this episode, so I didn't look him up, but we'll look into him.
Okay, we'll move on.
Lastly, no, time out. Can I just say something though, Paul? I am excited for Steve as a Met fan because the last few years, hearing him moaning.
I'm so excited. I'm only mad that it's not going to be a real season. It's going to be like a COVID season again, which is kind of.
I don't know. Well, we'll worry about that later. But in general,
who knows?
But I'm not worried about that yet. What I am, Paul, this is what goes on the last couple of years. The Mets would sign somebody, Todd Frazier. I go, Steve, the Mets got Todd Frazier, and he goes, yawn. Wake me up when they sign somebody good.
They always sign someone bullshit or someone that's like. Right. That's like 5 years out of their prime, or someone that they got on like the sneak. Like finally, they got a superstar. Thank you for getting a superstar.
Well, finally, you did it with Beltran. It's not like you never got superstars before.
He signed Robinson Cano.
Robinson Cano, you traded for.
Back. I'm actually glad because we got tons of money back for him.
Yeah, because now that he
Yeah, that's true.
Peter.
They need more money. Well, let's move on from there so we can sum this all up. Lastly, NBA. I just wanted to talk about the Knicks. I haven't actually watched the game. I think Mark has. I know our fathers watched some games. Watch some Knicks games. I think they are 5-4. We're only talking about this because this is the first time in a long time that they are over 500. Still very early. And I wanted to talk about that. According to the Post, this seems to be where I'm getting all my sporting update news from. Tom Thibodeau has changed the culture of the Knicks. There has been, quote, a mentality shift. And Tom Thibodeau wants to win every game, and he's selling that to the players, and they are buying into it so far. I put keywords so far.
Until they start losing, until they lose 5 in a row.
Exactly. Everything's nice when you're winning. But I just wanted – the only reason why I brought this up is as a 30-year-old, I've never really seen the Knicks.
He's never seen them good.
Like except for the Jeremy Lin year, that was about it. And I remember watching all of that, being so excited. And I really would like to buy into the Knicks. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'll jump on the bandwagon. Like, it's hard to watch a team for years lose and lose, so I stopped watching them. But if they keep winning, I'll probably start watching some NBA. I'll start watching the Knicks. Like, I get excited about that.
I've seen them super competitive, but I've never seen them win a championship. I've seen them, like compete for a championship, but never like the actual championship. I've seen them get like heartbroken by a Pacer.
By a 94.
Numerous times.
Yeah, I mean, but at least they were always good and fun to watch.
Now, right.
Remember when John Starks missed that 3-pointer?
Game 6, right, against the Rockets?
Like, meaningful sports is meaningful sports. It's better than watching your team lose for a decade or longer.
The Mets, the Jets. Sorry.
Facts.
Okay, so Mark, you can do you want to take it from here? You explain your debate format here.
Yeah, let's get into so folks, we want to get into a debate format here, right? And Steve and I love to debate a lot of things: sports, food, movies. Yeah, we're not going to box Steve because you will win, but I mean, looks like a drunken Rocky. But anyway, but me and Steve and myself have always debated sports since I've known him. Like, I've knew the guy. So when I met him in 2015, the Mets were in the World Series, and I got a shirt for me, the Royals shirt. I still have it. And the Royals beat the Mets. I actually have the shirt to mock Steve and a student of mine. So I've known, like, me and Steve and I have always debated sports, and one of the things we've always debated is Eli. I barely knew him, and he'd be like, Eli sucks, blah, blah, blah.
I think this is our most debated topic.
But we've never really we've always do it, and then recently we debated, I said, no, save it for when we meet on the podcast. So, on Two Dudes and a Drink. And we'll also give you guys some ways to give us some feedback at the end of the show, and chime in on the argument also. So our debate is Eli a Hall of Famer or not? And when you're a Hall of Famer, you're a great athlete. Subpar athletes don't get into the Hall of Fame. So and Steve is going to you'll hear his argument in a second, but his stance is no. My stance is it's a shoo-in. So we're both going to debate that. Now, Steve, I'll give you the floor first to start. I'll give you a few minutes before I interrupt you too.
Okay.
You ready? I don't know if you're ready.
I'm ready. So first I got some fluff about Eli that from the start just pisses me off. Okay. His middle name is Nelson, which is just embarrassing. All right. I know he's from New Orleans, which is a great town, by the way. I've been there. It's a great city.
Oh, lucky you.
I went there during Mardi Gras. It was insane. But he lives in Jersey, which anyone who lives in Jersey is just like I don't know.
We're update guys from Jersey, right?
Yeah, I'm just joking. But legit though, from the start, I didn't like him. He passed on the Chargers, which I thought was a bitch move. I did. He had his dad, get on TV and be like, "My son is not going to sign with the San Diego Chargers," which was just like weak. It was weak. Have you guys ever seen that awkward video of him like signing as a Charger?
When he gets drafted, you mean?
When he gets drafted as a Charger.
He signed, but he got the draft first. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just him looking really awkward with the commissioner and some Chargers guy. Weird, Eli in general is just like an awkward, aloof guy. You know what I mean?
Funny.
I don't know if Mark has ever told you before, but I've said that he has like one of the most punchable faces that I've ever seen in my life. I personally think he's the only professional athlete that I think I could beat up. I think I could take him. I think I could take Eli.
What about Jeter? You think you could take Jeter?
No, Jeter's he's a tough dude. You know what I mean? Eli's soft. You've seen him on the beach. He's soft. He's very white. He's very soft. Okay.
Just lost.
All right. So legit now. All right. This
legit. This soft stuff's annoying me.
This is real talk. This is real facts right now. He has 244 regular season interceptions. All right, in 236 games. Okay. Think about that. Okay, that's number 11 all time, okay.
Wait, interceptions? You mean?
Yeah, number 11 on the all-time interception list. Okay, number 1. Can you guess who it is?
I feel like I know this one. Is it? I can't think of his name now. I'm blanking. Mark or someone like that.
And he was, and I know Eli's been described as a gunslinger, mostly, in. I would say, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe you think no, but I think Eli's more of a gunslinger in like the fourth quarter, like the 2-minute drill, compared to like Brett Favre, who was just like first quarter to fourth quarter gunslinger. So you can kind of see that he would be the number 1 interception king. You know what I'm saying? Just in giggles, number 4 on the all-time interception list is Vinny Testaverde, former Jet. One of my favorite Jets, actually. Great Jet quarterback. Okay. So again, like one thing that Eli has going for him is durability. I'll get back to that. Do you know Manning only led the league in one passing stat? Do you know what that passing stat is? He led it, I believe, on three separate occasions. You know what that stat is? Only one stat that he ever led the league in.
Yards?
No, interceptions. All right. He was never an All-Pro. Not once. Never an All-Pro. Never got voted as an All-Pro. Okay? I want to compare him really quick. I have some more stuff I want to talk to you about Eli, but I want to compare him really quick to the other quarterbacks that he was drafted with. Talking about, of course, Phillip Rivers. I'm talking about Big Ben Roethlisberger, who's actually playing on his way towards, I think, a potential Super Bowl this year. Okay? All right. Both Phillip Rivers and Big Ben, both of them have more career passing yards. Okay? I don't know if you noticed, but Phillip Rivers has a better overall record than Eli Manning. Phillip Rivers he's 123 and 101 compared to Manning, who's 50, at 500. He's 117 and 117. That's including everything. That's including all, regular season and postseason. Okay. Big Ben actually has a very good record. He's 144 and 71, which is pretty freaking legit. You know what I'm saying? He also has 2 Super Bowl wins, just like Eli. But one thing that sticks out to me, and I was actually surprised by this, one thing that sticks out to me is that Eli had good Super Bowl stats, but his other postseason games were shit. Okay. Eli Manning was a 4-time Pro Bowler. Phillip Rivers is an 8-time Pro Bowler. Big Ben is a 6-time Pro Bowler. Okay. Both of them have career completion rates that are 5% higher than Eli Manning. All right. Phillip Rivers has 29 more TDs than Eli, yet he has 46 fewer interceptions. If Phillip Rivers would win only like 1 Super Bowl, he would be like, I mean, Eli Manning is like that close away from being like the worst Super Bowl. I mean,
how many Super Bowls did Phillip Rivers win after yesterday's loss? That's
Phillip. I mean, again, the only thing, and it's a big thing, but the only thing that you can constantly come back to is that he won 2.
Okay, but then the other thing, you said, Paul, you think it's fair for me to
Hold on, let me jump in. Let's give Mark a few minutes to kind of present his side of it.
Yeah, but first things first, Brett Favre, you said he has the most interceptions of all time.
Yeah.
Is he in Canton?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Canton, that's what it's called, right? The Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Canton?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, can I just go on a side tangent really quick?
Oh, here we go.
I don't know. I don't know how I got into this rut, but I was watching YouTube videos of players that got really emotional when that guy came. I forget his name, like the guy that says "Welcome to Canton," blah blah blah. Like you have a bronze bus now.
Yeah, it must be the Hall of Fame director.
Yeah, that guy. But I was watching like Moss. I watched him get inducted. And he was like crying. I was watching all these players get inducted. But anyway, go on.
We're going to see Eli doing that in a few years, whenever he's eligible. I don't know when they're eligible, but he retired last year, so he's got at least probably 4 or 5 years, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Brett Favre's in the Hall of Fame. Yeah.
I'm not as astute with the whole. So yeah, Bret Hart's. So right there, you already helped me win the argument. But anyway, let's go to some other things. I'm going to say straight up: 2-time Super Bowl champion, 2-time Super Bowl MVP. Stop the argument right there. We can end it right there, but I can keep going with the knockouts. So listen to this.
So it's so easy to get the Super Bowl MVP when you're the quarterback. They're almost like, here, take it. Like,
but anyway,
they don't even put any thought into it.
2-time Super Bowl champion.
That means shit. The MVP means shit, in my opinion.
All right, fine. Take that away. He's 2-time Super Bowl champ. And he went in those games, combined those 2 games, he went 49 of 74, 66% that is. He threw for 551 yards. He had 3 TDs and 1 INT. That's all that matters. Stop it right there. He had an INT in the first game. I don't even remember it. His playoff stats in general, you said they weren't good, but he had 18 TDs in his career, 9 INTs, 8 wins, 2,815 yards. A couple other things. Career stats, 60% completion percentage, 7,000 yards plus, 366 TDs. Yes, he had the 244 INTs, but I can name it for any guy. Numerous times where that ball was in their hands and they dropped it, interception. He never had the receivers that Brady had or guys like that. And if anyway, here's where I drive home my argument a couple of points.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
Come on, man.
He had what Brady has?
He has some great
well, hold on. Let's get into this. I'm going to name
Plaxico Burress.
Plaxico Burress with the bees until he shot himself in the balls.
It was actually the knee, but anyway.
Yeah.
All right, fine. I'll give you that, but I'm going to give you.
He has huge balls, Plaxico. So
give me this. Hall of Fame players. First of all, his durability is not. I mean, Daniel Jones has already been hurt twice in 2 seasons. I mean, Phil Simms hurt all the time. Brady missed the whole season with a torn ACL. Peyton missed some time, especially towards the end of his career. Eli, and let me just point out too, played better than his brother in both Super Bowls, much better in both of them. The only reason why Peyton won his second one was because he had a phenomenal defense. All right.
Peyton Manning is the single best regular season quarterback.
Good regular season. I'm talking everything now, whole body. Now,
you can't base a Hall of Fame argument on 2 Super Bowl wins.
But let me listen to this: Hall of Fame players, great players, make the guys around them amazing.
Who do you make better? David Tyree?
Can I finish with there, Mike Francesa? Jesus, man, let me.
Turn my mic on.
You make players around you great. No, Burris was good before he came to the Giants. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about guys.
Who did he make great?
Okay, Akeem Nicks. After he left the Giants, he was done. Mario Manningham was okay with the Giants, was disastrous after he left them, was not even in the league. Remember Kevin Boss, Paul?
Yes, Kevin Boss.
Picked him in 2007. He had a nice, solid season. He was originally just like a blocking tight end. Then when Shockey got hurt, he took over as the main tight end. He had some great seasons with the Giants. He left to go to the Raiders. I think Paul had more of an impact on the NFL after that than him. Kevin Boss. Kevin Boss was gone after the Giants. That shows me one thing. Oh, and I got other guys too. Remember the other Steve Smith that the Giants had?
Yes.
He had a great Super Bowl season with that. That first Super Bowl season, he was good as a 3rd, 4th guy, but he made a big catch in the late game of the Super Bowl, actually on a 3rd and 11 that I'll never forget. People forget about it because they always think of the Tyree play, but there was a 3rd and 11 late that Steve Smith caught that Eli got to him. All right, but Steve Smith had I think in 2009 or something had 1,000 yards receiving. He leaves the Giants after 2010. Bye-bye, Steve Smith. You never hear from him again. He's done. What does that tell me? Oh, I'm even going to – remember Jake Ballard? Never a great guy, but made some nice catches with the Giants. Didn't do that anywhere else.
Now we're talking about making some great catches.
And then I'm even going to throw in Odell Beckham. What has he done since he left the Giants? I mean, I know he was hurt this year. What did he do last year as healthy?
He didn't do anything with Eli. He didn't do anything with Eli either. Come on.
He had 1,000-yard seasons with him.
Because he's a stud receiver. He catches anything that's thrown to him.
Why isn't he a stud receiver with Baker Mayfield right now?
Because he's a torn ACL.
Last year. I'm not talking about this year. I'm talking about I know I'm not blaming him. I'm tearing his little wimpy ACL. I mean, I tore mine one time. It does hurt. I'm not going to lie. But
He's a basket case. He's a
I tore
basket
mine in a
case.
Manhattan College intramural basketball game one time, Paul. I think I tore it. I never was able to prove it, but Beckham, he played better with
Eli had Odell like the first season before he became a basket case.
He had 3 good seasons with Eli, 14, 15, 16.
Meh.
I mean, so these guys, they left the Giants and disappeared. To me, that shows me that Eli was making them better. You make players around you better.
I mean,
you're in teaching, when a great teacher makes the students better.
I mean,
make the players better. Look at the Knicks right now, right? I'm not saying that, you know what I mean? So, and let me give you this too. 2005, 2012, no losing seasons. They filtered on after that, fine, it's okay. But 44 game-winning or go-ahead TDs in the fourth quarter or OT. The only guy ahead of him is Drew Brees. Clutch players, Hall of Fame players come through in the clutch, and they get the victories when you need them. Eli Manning is a Hall of Famer. You don't have 2 Super Bowls on your record as a slub. Hall of Famers get Super Bowl championships. And let me tell you one other thing. And this is how I drive my point home. Your boy there, Broadway Joe Namath, is in the Hall of Fame. Want to hear his career stats? Because they're pathetic. They sound like Dave Brown's career stats.
Joe Namath is you can't compare. Are we comparing Joe Namath's stats to Eli Manning's stats now?
Yes, because Joe Namath's stats are pathetic. He had 173 TDs only, 220 interceptions. He had more interceptions than TDs.
He was a different kind of player in a different kind of era. You can't
be in the Hall of Fame. You can't go 62 and 63 in your career, injured a ton. He had 4 ties too. Who the hell gets 4 ties?
He's Joe Namath is grandfathered in.
Paul, is that a good argument by him to say someone's great? If you're going by that, that's not fair.
Joe Namath is grandfathered. That was a different. You can't. That's like
doesn't matter. Precedent set.
Earth to the sun.
And Joe Namath's only in there because Super Bowl III, which in my opinion is the second greatest victory in New York sports in football. The greatest victory ever is Super Bowl 42 when the Giants knocked off the Patriots, which Eli Manning quarterbacked that team. All right? Joe Namath did not have that victory. Who cares anymore? That was in black and white TV. Eli's Manning victory was amazing. It's the greatest sports victory. I even say it's probably bigger than some of the Yankee victories.
How about this? Let me give you a stat right here. Let me give you a stat. Where is it? Let me look for it.
Well, you cut us off when you think we've been too long. I think we're heading to that point now.
Okay. So among quarterbacks, older quarterbacks in the Eli era, you know who they are. All of them. I'm not going to name names. He's fifth. He's fifth in touchdown passes. Okay. First in interceptions. Okay. He has so many. You can't judge a Hall of Fame quarterback on just the Super Bowl, especially when there were fluke wins. All right, without David Tyree.
Every Super Bowl can be
any sports championship.
One game. So of course you can call any Super Bowl victory a fluke win.
David Tyree, that catch should not have happened. That David Tyree catch should not have happened.
But it did.
It's like saying, like
other quarterbacks haven't had lucky catches.
Not like that. I mean, that's why it goes down. That's why it goes down as one of the best games in history. You know what I mean?
But it doesn't matter. He escaped the pocket. That's all you need to know.
That was a great because that Mark's right. That whole play was great. He was on the run.
The drive was great,
and Eli doesn't run.
The whole drive was great.
Listen,
he was making pinpoint passes on a great defense.
Yeah, what's to say he wouldn't have made another great pass there?
I'm sorry.
He's not clutch. Eli's clutch. I get it. You'll never hear from me that he's not clutch. But
Here we go again.
He's the greatest regular quarterback of all time. He's straight up. He's a pedestrian quarterback. I'm
sorry. I go back to the point that if he's pedestrian, then Joe Namath is Dave Brown, in my opinion.
Average.
No, then Joe Namath is below average.
I just can't compare Joe Namath in this conversation.
But then here's the thing. It's like when you set precedent.
It's apples and oranges.
You set precedent, though. You can't set precedent and say Joe Namath could be in the Hall of Fame, but Eli Manning is. If Joe Namath's in with those stats and that other guy, I can't think of his name, Sonny something or whatever. I can't look it up. If that guy's in the Hall of Fame, I'm getting the name wrong. But if that guy's in the Hall of Fame and Joe Namath's in the Hall of Fame, then Eli Manning's got to be in the Hall of Fame. Sorry. You cannot put him. I'm going to quote LT here. I'm going to quote Lawrence Taylor. They were thinking about not putting him in the Hall of Fame because of his issues off the field, the recreational issues that he had. And as LT said in that Showtime documentary, man, if you don't put me in the Hall of Fame, then you better shut that I promise someone I wouldn't curse. Probably
Lawrence
shut that
Taylor-
down.
Lawrence
If
Taylor
it ain't worth nothing. If Eli's not in the Hall of Fame, then I'm never going to step foot in Canton anyway. It's probably a boring place. Canton, Ohio, right? Yeah, I ain't going to Ohio anytime soon.
Lawrence Taylor changed the game. You can't
Yeah,
compare.
but I could say Eli Manning, that changed the game, but his Super Bowl victories, how do you have the greatest Super Bowl victory of all time? How do you not have that player honored in the Hall of Fame?
Do you know what? You want to talk about players who should be in the Hall of Fame?
Exclamation point, stop.
You want to talk about players who should be in the Hall of Fame? Eli Manning ranks 33rd percent in completion record in his era. Okay?
That's really bad.
Do you know who it's tied with, actually? Guess who it's tied with?
Yeah.
Ryan Fitzpatrick. Okay?
Oh, I like Fitz.
I can't do it right now. I would need to, I have like the base outline, but I could make an argument that Ryan Fitzpatrick should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's going to be an episode one day, but let's not get off tangent with that right now. I would like to have that argument, but he's ninth in quarter. He's ninth all time in TDs though.
Eli Manning?
He's ninth in TDs. I looked it up.
Maybe I do know that.
He's ninth in TDs. Oh, he got a little quiet there, Paul.
He did.
Update guy, why don't you chime in for a minute? We need a break. I'm tired.
You know what I do? What I learned to appreciate from Eli Manning that I've already learned with Daniel Jones as a Giants fan is I do think I don't apply this to baseball with like Cal Ripken because I think I don't know. I just with
that's
football,
an argument because Cal Ripken's overrated anyway.
That's what I mean. And so with football, I think it's much harder to start and stay healthy every week. And I really do think that is so I did not appreciate that at the time that he started every single game. And I do think he's a little underrated in that aspect. Yeah. But I think Steve's right. He's got some really bad statistics. It's like regular season, and I mean the last couple of years were terrible. I mean, and it's not his fault, but he kind of single-handedly destroyed the Giants these last couple of years, and it's not his fault. That was a ownership decision to keep him, but I don't know.
He should have retired. He messed up his legacy by not retiring earlier.
I can say that about a lot of guys, Steve.
Yeah, we're talking about Eli right now, though.
Okay, good point.
Giants overall were a bad team, so it wasn't all his fault those last couple of years.
No, they're poorly coached.
He should have been like, yo, you know what? I've made $500 million. Why don't I just exit gracefully instead of trying to be
healthy?
Yeah, but he should have saw the writing on the wall. He was in a locker room. He should have realized that the coach did not want him anymore. What's his name? What's the guy that got fired?
McAdoo.
He did not want him anymore, man. He wanted Daniel Jones. They fucked him though. They fucked McAdoo. They should have given him Daniel Jones.
He was an idiot.
Jones wasn't there yet.
Yeah, he went about it the wrong way, but he was like, you know what? Screw it. He's like, I don't want Eli to play anymore. I'm tired of him freaking throwing interceptions. The defense would give them 7 points, and then you go and throw an interception.
Yeah, but the Giants have been much better.
But during his prime, he was amazing, and he had great seasons. He took the Giants to so many great victories. And I'm going to say it again: my winning argument is two things. And the viewers can tell us. They can chime in and tell us who they think won. Paul, maybe you can jump in. Well, you might be a little biased. By the way, Paul's my brother, if you didn't realize. Younger. The exclamation stop moment. 2 Super Bowls. Don't tell me, anybody can win the MVP in the Super Bowl. No, that's not true.
They threw that shit around freaking.
Actually, I pulled that up. Yes. So we've got last year, 2020 Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
Year before, Julian Edelman, wide receiver.
Okay. He's a stud. Just stud.
Actually, this kind of helps Steve's argument. The year before, Nick Foles was the MVP, and he'll never be in the Hall of Fame.
Get the hell out of here. They're you had a couple of touchdown passes. You're the MVP.
Tom Brady.
Eli won the game.
The year before that, Von Miller.
With the Broncos, right?
Von Miller.
Yeah, because Peyton played horrendous.
It's a lot of quarterbacks. Then you have some receivers. You have a safety. 2003, Dexter Jackson.
I remember that. He had 3 interceptions against the Raiders.
I don't think that's ever happened.
I remember that game, yeah. No,
you had 2 linebackers. You had Von Miller
on the Cowboys.
Malcolm Smith on the Seahawks.
Remember that.
Did they get a car? They get a car still for getting MVP? What did they get?
Remember when Ray Lewis won the MVP, but they wouldn't let him say I'm going to Disney World? You guys know.
Wait,
Right?
did you guys just say this? Did I miss it? Desmond Howard kick return or punt?
Yeah, I remember that one. No, I was saying Larry Brown in the 90s with the Cowboys. He won.
96 cornerback.
By the way, people, I am a sports encyclopedia. I got the
We
name.
should have a Ray Lewis murder episode.
Oh, no, let's not talk about that right now.
You know what's crazy? Back in the day, there were much more defensive players.
Yeah, because the league changed. But anyway.
But Steve's right. It's a lot of quarterbacks.
But, Paul, I'm going to bring you
– 3 touchdowns, MVP.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Like, here, take the MVP. We don't care.
Was Eli not nasty in those 2 Super Bowls, though?
Yeah, he was unbelievable. I mean, I don't know.
People forget about the Manningham pass. He pinpointed it right to him on the sideline. It was amazing.
At the end of the day, this argument to kind of like start bringing it to an end here, this debate, I think it's how much do you value how much do you weight the playoff? Because even I looked up his playoff run statistics versus his brother. Because like everyone's gonna say his brother's a shoo-in, and his Eli versus Peyton during their Super Bowl run, so their playoff runs, I guess this is. So Eli's completion percentage was 63.1. Peyton's was 60.4. Yards per pass, Eli had 7.4, and Peyton had 6.4. Touchdowns on their playoff runs, Eli had 15 touchdowns. Peyton had 5. Interceptions, Eli had 2. Peyton had 8. And passer rating, Eli was 100.1 and Peyton was a 72.4. So my thing I would ask Steve is just, and I'm not taking sides, but I'm just curious what you could say to this. Like, would you say Peyton is a shoo-in for the Hall of Fame?
I mean, it's well known that Peyton was just, for whatever reason, was just a choker in the postseason. You know what I mean?
Right. So now how do you weight the Hall of Fame? Like, if you have incredible playoff runs and 2 Super Bowl victories where you were Eli was very good. You said it. He was very clutch in those Super Bowls. How much does that – I think it all comes down to how much do you weight that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was very –
I mean, fans in general are intoxicated with Super Bowl wins. And
but isn't that the point?
That makes you immortals.
You know, but when you look at it, though, it should come down to the overall stats. Like for how many years were you dominant? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you know, maybe you hit a roadblock in the postseason, but for like every single game, for like 17 games a year, you were just the most dominant quarterback in the league.
This is very similar, Mark. Well, we always debate with our buddy John about I always get annoyed that Mike Trout wins the MVP because I'm like, yeah, stats are great, but how valuable is he to his team if they lose they never make it?
Eli's valuable to the Giants.
Not even 500. They don't even break 500 as teams.
Yeah.
So that's the same thing with this. Like, how much that like is winning more important to the Hall of Fame than statistics?
I mean, like how many Hall of Fame? I mean, just to talk about baseball, how many Hall of Fame players have been on like absolute shitball teams?
Oh, I can name a few.
And they're just dominating in like obscurity.
By the way, hold on.
So
can I interrupt this? Cleveland's winning 28-0 right now.
I heard about that. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah. What is the second half almost?
It's not even the end of the first.
Yikes.
I heard about that. Yeah, they'll blow it. Listen,
I just got the notification on my phone.
I got to do one more thing. I got to show you guys a clip real quick. All right. This is Eli's his second season, his first full season when they won the division title. He went 11-5. Early on in the season, they played the Broncos, a good team at the time. John Lynch as the safety. Look at this game-winning pass he threw. This is a Hall of Fame type play. Look at this play. CBS, I remember watching this in a friend's apartment. Great game, great freaking game. And this shows you a lot about Eli. Look at this last play to end the game, like beat the good Broncos. Look at that, back foot.
Good catch, too. Listen, nobody. Listen, Eli.
That's a Hall of Fame play right there. Hall of Fame quarterback, rookie year.
I'll give Eli his due. Eli was clutch at the end of games. Like in a 2-minute drill, he was great. You know, and he shined in the postseason, just like Derek Jeter did. You know, if Derek Jeter was not in the postseason 100 freaking times, then he would have been like a very good player. You know what I'm saying? but he wouldn't have been like Mr. New York if he was playing in like freaking Detroit.
Here's the what ifs though. It doesn't matter. He's playing in New York. He's playing for the best teams in the country.
I think ultimately Eli will. I think he'll get in the Hall of Fame because I think the narrative will be like he'll be remembered for those Super Bowl.
Yeah, and his durability, which I agree. Mark Marino, you've heard me before. Like you've heard me give props to him for being durable.
After you call him Sheila, though.
And think about how much stability like there's a team. Like look at the Jets, and they've been losing for so many years, and they've gone through so many different quarterbacks. Like Eli did provide stability. Like you went in knowing you had a quarterback who even after the last Super Bowl, like he was still good for a couple of years. Like it's not like he ultimately became terrible right away.
Stats were great.
I would have loved to see Eli, like his last 2 seasons with like a decent O-line. And somebody he could throw to. And
I don't think he still would have been the best, but I think he would have better O-line. I think he could have been like better. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
But he should have retired 2 years earlier than he did.
I disagree though, because 2015 he made the Pro Bowl. He threw 662%, 4,432 yards. He had 35 TDs. That's not a bad season at all. You're gonna retire after that season? Come on, that's a good season. And they had a crappy defense that blew tons of games that year. Paul, we were at the game when they lost to the Panthers. Remember, they came all the way back. He led them back. The Panthers like 14-0 or something.
That was the game when Beckham got into the fight.
Right. Everyone remembers the Norman game and the Beckham game.
Norman.
But he led the Josh Norman and Beckham. We were in the seats by the Hertz. What do they call them? The rental seats there. We were behind the Giants bench. Remember?
Yes.
We couldn't really see it because we were blocked by all.
Yeah, you were like a little fangirl trying to get autographs.
Stop. The Giants were losing in that game like 35-10, and they came all the way back. I'm trying to make a point here. I mean, a non-Hall of Fame player would wilt. Eli got them all the way back, and the defense blew it, of course. A lot of times the defense blew it for him, too.
That was the year the defense blew like every game.
They went 6-10 that year, but they could easily gone 10-6 if they had.
And now it's funny because now I think their defense is pretty good in the offense.
Yeah, Eli's Hall of Famer.
So we know that Big Ben is a sure shot Hall of Famer. What about Phillip Rivers?
I think he is too, but if he gets in, then Eli definitely gets in because Eli's 100 times better.
Phillip Rivers' stats are
stats. All here is stats. What about victories in the big games?
So much better. They're so much better than Eli's.
I have an argument back to that. Where's
Phillip Rivers, 8-time Pro Bowl compared to Eli Manning. Better overall record. More better completion.
Never won anything.
29 TDs.
Steve, where are the San Diego Chargers playing these days?
I mean, what's your point?
Point is that if he had won big games for them, they would still be playing in San Diego, not L.A. in some soccer stadium.
Yeah, it was Phillip Rivers' fault that they switched cities.
It is his fault because if you win a Super Bowl, your team doesn't leave.
Yes.
95 Mariners. If they didn't beat the Yankees, guess what? They wouldn't have been in Seattle. They would have gone somewhere else. I can name tons of teams that left. If they had won the Browns, they wouldn't have left Cleveland the first time if they had won a Super Bowl. These arguments are great. I mean, Steve, you can admit what you want. You can stomp your feet like my favorite saying, stomp your feet like a kid in Toys R Us that Eli's not a Hall of Famer, but he is. And you're going to see it whenever he's eligible. I don't know. We got to look that up. I'm not really attuned to the football rules for the Hall of Fame.
I think it's going to be closer than you think.
We know how close it is. I think he'll know he's in it or out. That's it. It's not like baseball.
No, they'll tell you. They'll tell you like the percentage. No,
I'm gonna be honest. That's my shortcoming. I don't know the Football Hall of Fame rules too well. Baseball, I know perfect. You got to make the 75% or whatever it is, and that's it. But
well, I think for the listeners, this was a good first debate because I think the Eli Manning debate. This is something you hear a lot, and I mean, ultimately, I think he is going to get in, but.
You know he's getting in. Don't say I think. You know he's going in. And we'll go to Canton to see it, okay? And we'll drag
We'll put this on YouTube. I want to hear in the comments who you guys.
People, please, we'll give you our contact info in a moment, but please get back to us of what you think. I want to hear feedback.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to give you all our contact info soon.
Okay, so to end this off, I want to do our little 2-minute drill. I'm going to ask you guys a question.
All right, who's going first, me or Steve?
Okay. We'll give it to Steve.
Okay, what's the question?
So and if you agree, that's fine. We're changing gears here. I figured the 2-minute drill would be fun if we just shift gears from what the theme has been. Will Tiger Woods win another major?
Oh,
I mean, nobody wants him to win more than me. You know what I mean?
Oh, I didn't know you're a Tiger fan. Okay.
I love Tiger Woods.
I love.
He
Do you think he would win another major? So that Masters victory he had, was that 2 years? Was that last year? 2 years ago? That was his last major. That was the first one.
Feels like 3 years ago, but it was like a year or two ago.
So, Steve, do you think he'll win another major?
I think as long as he stays healthy, then sky's the limit. You know what I mean? Because golf is a skill, and he's got it. You know what I'm saying? And he was hurt for a while. Like I read this book on him, and like he got hurt because he was doing all this like crazy like Navy SEAL training with some guy, and he like hid it from his trainer. And the reason why he was going into decline the last few years before he like imploded was because he had some like pretty like serious like leg injury that he was hiding from everyone. So I think if he's healthy, then yes, he'll win a few more. Just like Nicholas did, and yeah, I do.
What do you think?
First of all, before my 2 minutes starts, I don't think he was even 2 minutes, but I'm impressed with Steve's golf knowledge, by the way. Very impressed.
I went in blind. I didn't know if he liked golf or not.
He knows his stuff.
I love golf.
So, first of all, it's funny you said Tiger Woods. As of right now, at this moment, the Tiger Woods documentary on HBO is starting. I can't wait to watch later tonight. Paul, you know where I stand with this. Tiger Woods is my favorite major sport athlete. I love Tiger. He's right up there with Jeter and Eli as my favorite athletes of all time. I think Tiger's going to do one more. I think it'll probably be a Masters. That's usually his tournament. The Open tournaments are tough with the roughs. British Open, don't even get me started on that nonsense. Maybe a PGA Championship, but I hope he wins at least one more Masters, and I think he will. He proved he can do it. He needs to. When Tiger wins, golf is better. I don't care about Dustin Johnson and who's the one married to Gretzky. Is that him? I don't care about Ricky Fowler. I can't stand all these young hipster golfers that are in the league and in the PGA now. I hope Tiger will win another one, and I cannot wait to rub it in our cousin's face because they hate Tiger.
They hate him.
Every time he wins.
Nothing more exciting. Like it's got to be one of the top 3 most exciting things in sports is Tiger like in a Masters.
Yeah, anything. Yeah, any of those tournaments.
And golf it's so much more popular when if it's a Sunday in the Masters or Sunday on whatever championships and he's in it, like he's in the top 5, everybody's watching it.
Yeah,
like, people who aren't even like
shoot up.
Yeah.
So, I say he's winning one more at least. He's like what 42. He can win one more because Nicholas won one at like you said, Steve, like 46. He won the Masters again.
Yeah, and
they're better trained now.
Just for a different episode, but can I tell you how much I hate Phil Mickelson?
Oh, let's go. Yes,
I cannot stand all their effort, man. I cannot stand him. He's just the slimiest freaking scumaggy dude ever.
That's not going to be a debate because I can't stand them too. So we'll just rip
there is no debate there. Mark and I are. It's funny, Mark and I, and that's one of the things where me and Mark are on the same page too. Like I've never really.
And he was a big time choker. Paul and I saw him.
He's the fakest motherfucker ever, man. So fake.
Thanks for censoring yourself there, Steve.
Fake. Yeah.
Steve, so I want to hear something funny real quick before we close out. 2006, they were at Winged Foot, the U.S. Open, Marineck, and me and Paul and I went to round 3. And we saw him finish up. We were cheering for him. We said, golf is weird. It's not like
that was the year Tiger missed the cut.
Tiger missed the cut. He was coming off an injury or something. I think he wound up winning later on that year. But Phil Mickelson finished out the Saturday, the 3rd round strong, and then Sunday he's got a lead on the 18th hole. He like clanks it and blows the tournament apart. Horrendous. Can't laugh anymore at someone like Phil Mickelson. You laugh at it even more knowing what kind of person he is. Him and Kurt Schilling are similar.
Yeah, they're both like blowhards. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Him and Kurt Schilling to me are just the worst.
I feel like they're both out there, that kind of guys that they would get drunk and be like, "I'm gonna fight you," like those kind of people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, I turn different when I'm drunk.
Yeah.
I hate you.
At the bar, and like you accidentally bump into them at the bar. They're like, "Hey, what'd you do that for?"
Yeah, they're definitely.
You looked at my girlfriend. You looked at my wife.
Yeah. It's like I'm sorry. I'm just trying to order a drink, buddy.
Yeah, I'm just trying to like go to the bathroom, man.
Let us know how you feel, people. We have an email. It's not hard to do that this day and age. We're 2dudes2drinks@gmail.com. Our Twitter handle is @2dudes2drinks, and that is our YouTube page. But we'll be linking that to our Gmail and all that.
There's a Twitter?
I have a Twitter, 2dudes2drinks. You're on it. You followed it.
Yeah.
Oh, I did.
I followed it too, right? Did I follow it? I'm pretty sure
I followed it, Steve-O. So
right now, are there only 3 followers?
No, there's about 10 followers, but we'll get there. Don't worry.
Wow. We have to do some outreach.
We're going to do outreach, guys. You guys have your social media. You know me. I'm not a social media guy. You reach out to our friends and family. You show them who we are. But please email us. Use the Twitter or the email or the comments on YouTube to please give us feedback. We want to know how you feel about the debate. Maybe you have an issue with what we said about Phil Mickelson. Maybe you don't like Tiger. Maybe you want to talk about the Francisco Lindor trade and Steve's giddiness.
I'll talk about that all day, man.
Yeah, he'll talk about that all day. I'm glad I'm not going to see you tomorrow.
If we're really trying to get social media, we do have to censor ourselves a little. What we say. We could have coworkers or people listening.
Yeah, we didn't do anything wrong here. We didn't insult anybody.
No.
Phil Mickelson.
Not yet.
Future reference.
Yeah.
So anyway, people, I'm Marino. That's Steve. Paul, the update guy. This is two dudes with two dudes, two drinks. That was the end of our first episode. We hope to see you guys again soon. Peace.
Cut.